So when I was 18, I moved to Austin, Texas to go to film school. Now, the 4 years prior to that, I'd spent living in Nebraska. Now, in Nebraska, there's about 3 things you could do for fun. Drink Keystone Light, go bowling, or do meth. I had no fun in Nebraska. Basically, I stayed inside my house and watched movies all day, okay? So when I moved to Austin, it was like I discovered that heaven existed and it was full of bearded men and breakfast tacos. It was incredible. For a film geek like me, it was heaven. My walk to school every day was the opening shot to Slacker. It was just absolutely astounding. So I just fell in love with this city, and I realized that spring every year would be my birthday. So all my friends were gonna leave for spring break, but I knew that in Austin, there was South by Southwest, where mustachioed hipsters claimed to have the next great Daft Punk album. So I decided the best thing to do for my birthday was to volunteer. Sign up for the film festival, work a couple hours, see a bunch of movies. So I signed up for some shifts, and then one night, the night of my birthday, I walked down to the convention center. And the movie that was playing that night, movie you're all familiar with, of course, that being Danny Roan, first-time director. Any fans in the house? Exactly. All right. Danny Roan, first-time director, was the debut of one of cinema's great comic geniuses, that, of course, the directorial debut of Mr. Andy Dick. So here I am, 18, a few hours going on to 19, starstruck. I know that Andy Dick and his entourage are about to walk into the convention center. And sure enough, here they come. Andy Dick, co-star of In the Army Now with Pauly Shore. Anthony Rapp, the star of Rent. Mo Collins, the star of my second favorite sketch comedy show, Mad TV. And Michael Hitchcock, that dude who died in the first 5 minutes of Serenity. And they're walking through, and I'm starstruck, I'm excited. They stumble into the theater, and I follow them. I sit down at the bottom row. Every seat is packed, and the movie starts. And it's awful. It's like watching snails fornicate. It's just like astoundingly unfunny. But I'm like, maybe I just don't get it. You know, I'm young. I don't understand these Hollywood types yet. You know, that's why we have Q&As. Maybe there'll be something to explain there. Not a single Q was A'd that night, folks. Someone had been smuggling beers into the theater, and Andy Dick was drunk, wasted. And so he stumbles up. About the highlight of this Q&A was Andy Dick being Barney, Mo Collins on her knees being Baby Bop, and sex acts just being simulated on stage. So the Q&A ends, and everyone shuffles on out. And so I see all of Andy's Hollywood friends go one way, and I see Andy Dick go the other way. And now I'm thinking, should I? Should I try to hang out with Andy Dick? What's the worst that could happen? Worst case scenario, Andy Dick brushes me aside. Best case scenario, in 2 years, I'm doing a buddy comedy film with Andy Dick in Hollywood. So I just follow Andy Dick. And sure enough, it becomes my swingers moment. I'm so money, baby. Andy's so money, baby, and he doesn't even know it. Because he's drunk. And we're walking down and we're hanging out now. We're going to bars. No one's carding me. We're having Japanese beers. And I'm thinking, man, this is really awesome. Only problem is Andy's not really talking to me this whole time. He's trying to get in touch with his drug dealer named Alfonso. Now I know his name is Alfonso because Andy Dick continues the whole night to scream in his phone, Alfonso, I need blow! So okay, he's got issues, but don't we all? It's not a problem. I'll walk it off. We'll just walk it on down. So suddenly my swingers moment becomes my bodyguard moment, because as we're walking down, my job is to put out all the fires that Andy Dick has started, both literal and metaphorical. So he's hitting on every underage girl and guy. Bisexual cokeheads, they're fun. And he's walking down, and things are just, starting to degrade. Things are really starting to get bad here. And then finally, at one point, I'm having to lift him up to keep him walking. And at that point, he looks over at me and says one of the most profound statements you'll ever hear in your life. "You're too fat to fuck." And this is not my swingers moment anymore, folks. This is not my bodyguard moment. This is not a street we're walking on. This is a river, because this is my apocalypse now moment. Okay, folks? We're just going down the river now. So finally, I managed to get Andy Dick back to his Hollywood friends. And here I am now getting to chat with Mo Collins and enjoy myself. But then he walks out of the bar again, and I'm like, well, I gotta keep a track on Andy Dick, And he walks out, and up comes to this red light, but a pink car, 4-door. And Andy Dick, not knowing the two women who are driving this vehicle, opens the back door, gets in, and closes the door behind him. Red light turns green, and the car speeds off. Andy Dick has just kidnapped himself. And part of me wants to just scream, "Andy Dick, come back!" But this is not a Shane moment.